Lisa Long. My name is Lisa Long. I'm the Customer Service and Account Manager at Iowa Land Records. I've been here a long time. I've seen lots of changes. I've seen e-submission grow exponentially to over 400,000 documents in 2021. It was a little bit down in 2022, and that's because of the economy. What I'm going to demonstrate to you today is e-submission, and we will touch a little bit on the search interface. We have a new search interface that has been developed. It is being released first to e-submission customers. We are asking all organizations that are current e-submission customers to complete and submit a new application to us. What that does is have you agree to the new terms of use. Your account name won't change, your username won't change, your password won't change. What it will do is enable the new search interface, and I will show you how that works in e-submission. So we're asking everyone to do that. I'll show you a little bit of search today, but not a lot. Backing me up today is Kristen Delaney-Cole, our communications coordinator. She is going to include a link in the chat pod of how to register for tomorrow's webinar. It's at 10 a.m. Will last about an hour on the new search interface, and it is being presented by Phil Dunshee, our project manager. If you are unable to join us tomorrow, please know that it will be recorded and you will be able to access that later. So with all that in mind, questions into the chat pod, I'm going to go ahead and log in to the staging environment with my username and password for the test environment. And now I'm going to wait for the token to pop into my email so I can log in. So I'm all logged in, and Kristen has information in the chat pod about tomorrow's webinar. So what you see when you log in is first the welcome pod over here with today's date, how you can connect with us if you have questions by calling us, emailing us, or completing the support request form. And you can find additional resources by clicking here. You can also find them up here under resources. So you know that they're both out there. Clicking on home always returns you to this screen so that you're back to where you started. You've got change password if you wanted to update your password. I won't do that today. Remember that passwords have to be 14 characters or more. There's a list of special characters that are allowed here. You have to have an uppercase, a lowercase, and a number. And if you are on the struggle bus with what a good password is, I like to use a city, a zip code, and special characters. Also, on that same screen, you can select this attributes box here that says by default use party name information from the first document for all subsequent documents in a group. So imagine that you are submitting a deed, declaration of value, groundwater, and a mortgage. You enter the party name. You're only going to have to enter one on the first document. Subsequent documents in the group will have the name populated. You can always edit the name, but this is such a time saver, and it's something that came out of focus groups as we did those prior to the development of this. So I'm going to go back to home up here. And there we are. So we're back to the home screen, how to change your password or enable that same party name thing. This is e-submission search. I will come back to this after I've submitted documents in today's in today's webinar. I also have admin here. So I've got submitter information if I wanted to update that. And I can select edit here. And test payment is the organization name. The fields that are editable are here. This account number is our internal account number for your organization. It has nothing to do with a bank account number or a credit card number, a phone number, all of that information. These things are editable. Then we also have under admin how to update the account And oh, that's the same as what I showed you before. And back over here. We have submitter payment information. This would be accessible by anyone in your organization who is an administrator or has the accounting role. So they would be able to go in here and select edit and update account holder information, email, phone number, address, and what kind of payment you're using. Please do not be alarmed if you go in here and no information is displayed. If I were to update this now, I'm not going to, and select save, as soon as I did that, if I came back in here, there'd be no information. So the information does not display, but it is held in the background for use on payment. We've got users here, so you can take a look at everybody that's in your user list. You can display up to all of them, no matter how you have. You can update and sort by role. So we've got search user, accounting user, admin users that are enabled for search. And that's all. So we've got their username, their real name, their status. Pending indicates this Jane Doe. She was set up, but she hasn't logged in to update her password. So if you're an administrator and you add someone to the account or you update their password, their status becomes pending. To become active, they should log in, update their password, and that'll be good. If we wanted to edit Jane's information, click on the pencil and update all of this. And then whatever we're going to do for her. And save. And so you can see all of the things that updated here. If I wanted to update her password, I could do that right here. So we've got this, and I'm taking the easy way out and adding an extra @ sign to it. And then I would tell Jane that was the password that she needed to enter with her username right here so that she could get logged in, and then her status would update. She's going to go to the main screen where I just logged in. She's going to enter her username, her password, and it will prompt, it'll say your password is expired and you need to change it. And then if Jane has left your organization and you wish to delete her username as an administrator, you can do that right here by clicking delete. So Jane has been removed from our account. So back to home, and under admin, we have reports. So this information is accessible again to anyone who's an admin or an accounting user, so they can use it for reconciliation. And you would select settlement report. This is probably my favorite report. We'll just do it by current date. Let's see what we get. So the blue bar indicates that it is working. This submitter in our test environment has been very busy because we have some testing going on with a couple of our service providers. So we've got this big list of documents that we have recorded this month. And again, everything is sortable. So if you wanted to do it by charge amount, we can actually put the largest amount on top. Clearly playing with some transfer tax there, the group name, the submission number. That's not what I want. I want to get rid of that. The transaction date, the recording date, and then if you can export this, and if you do, let's go ahead and do that. Group name, submission number, transaction date, recording date, reference number, document type, and if you scroll over here, you can see who submitted it. But what I like is, where's the fees? Oh, here's the fees. The charge amount is right there for you to use. And you can sort this or make a pivot table or whatever works best for you as you are reconciling. We do have a couple different payment methods that are allowable in e-submission. One is a bank account. And if you use a bank account for payment, the charges for each day will be batched at the end of the day, and then we will request payment through our system. So if you had a total of $500 in recording fees that day, you would see a transaction for $500 on your bank account. If you recorded those same documents using a credit card, you would see a line item for each document that was recorded on your credit card. But you can always come in here and generate this report if you need that. Under support, we have resources. There's a little bit of updating going on over here, but we've got materials, the new groundwater hazard process that went into effect earlier this year, and lots of questions and answers. So those are there. We have customer support if you wanted to connect with us. Honestly, I think the support@claris.com or this phone number are your best bet. If you would like to connect with us, give us a call. We're here 8 to 5. If we are available, we 100% answer the phone. And then we have the transfer tax calculator should you need that. So we won't go ahead and do that, and then sign out. So going back to the home screen, we've got some groups here in the pending groups. So think of these kind of as your to-do list, but let's go ahead and submit some groups and see what's going on. I'm going to take a quick pause. Does anyone have any questions before I get going? Okay. First step is to select new submission, select the county, enter a group name. It can be anything you like that will help you find this group later, okay? And save. And then it automatically goes to the modal so you can start entering documents. I'm going to go ahead and enter a deed. Notice that the number of auditor fees automatically updates to 1. I'm going to put in a real estate value of 850,000 documents. I'm going to find a image that I can attach. So you would have these scanned in your system, black and white, portrait orientation, 300 DPI. You'll see me throughout the webinar today use some of the same documents over and over. It's the test environment, so I don't have different documents for each group. I'm going to save this. As soon as I do, you'll see two things change. One, all the fees will calculate over here. The standard fee is calculated on the number of pages that are in the PDF that I've attached. The number of auditor fees is 1, so you're going to see $5 here. And then the transfer tax will be based on the $850,000 here. And then you'll see a modal pop up where I'm going to enter party names. So save. There's the modal. And we're going to make this be a bank and save. So farmers can be an organization. You could also enter a person or a grantee. There's only room for one name in a submission. Remember, the counties will index every name that is on the document, and then save. So I've got all these fees calculated over here, and I've got warnings that they want a declaration of value and a groundwater. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those. So add, and if I click here, I can click on the D to get to the declaration of value and attach the image and save. No fees over here. And because I have that box clicked that says, hey, yes, I want to use the same party names on each document in the group, I don't have to enter those, but I can enter an additional information, or I could delete it. It will tell me then that I need a party name, and then I'll go ahead and add a person. I'm going to add a person, and David. So that's out there. Keep in mind, the county will always index all the parties on the document. We are going to add one more document. That's the groundwater. And browse for that. And save it. And now this group is ready to be submitted. If I was ready, I can do I can add another document. So one of my favorites at this point is to add a power of attorney. And remember, it's already going to have the name included. So I won't have to do that. Invalid rotation. Okay. So now I have this group of a deed, declaration of value, groundwater, and a power of attorney. I want the power of attorney to be first. I want it to be recorded before the deed. And all I have to do is drag and drop to get it up there. And there you can see those fees. You can see the name was included from the first document, and I'll put a number behind it there. So you can see that that's always available for you to edit. And I can change the county if I want to. So I'll go ahead and submit this one to Humboldt. We're doing some testing there. I could delete anything that I wanted to here. Add more documents. As far as the size of groups, we would say 10 or less. So maybe you have a large group of releases or assignments that you're submitting all to the same county. They should all go to the same county, but they all don't have to be for the same party. So like I said, maybe you have 10 releases that you're going to submit all to Jones County. Then you could put those in one group with a name of Jones County releases and today's date. Or you could do them each as one. The charges will be the same, but you create less groups. And it's up to you. So I'll go ahead and submit this one to Humboldt. Remember, in progress indicates it has not been submitted. Okay, so anything in this pending group section, think of that as your to-do list. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do submit group there. Okay. Does anyone have questions so far? So let's keep going. I'll do another submission. If you're familiar with the new groundwater hazard law that went into effect earlier this year, where you didn't have to submit the groundwater if there's no positive conditions. So you can select the deed, so the conveyance document. It could also be a warranty deed. And you still have the number of auditor fees. It defaults to 1. You can put any number in there that you want, but the maximum charge allowed in Iowa is $50 or 10 parcels, but you can put anything in there that you want. But you've got this deed, you have the statement on there that says there are no positive conditions. I don't remember all of the language, but it's all there. What you're going to do so the system doesn't send you that orange message that was in the webinar in the group before is select the groundwater exemption right there. Then grab your file, black and white, portrait orientation, 300 DPI, and make sure you've got a real estate value in here. And save. And they hate that. Okay. And now enter a name. Save. So you've got the standard fee, because this is a 2-page document that was attached, $50 in transfer fee because the maximum is that, only a transfer tax of 80 cents because I put a value of $1,000, and no groundwater, but I do have the warning down here that it's looking for the declaration of value. So back up here, add a document, click D right there. And get that and save it. And so there you see there's no fees. And you can also see up here the group fees. So that's the total for this document. The service fee on all documents is $3 plus the recording fee. So it's $3 on every document except for the deck and the groundwater. There's no e-submission fees on there. This service fee is higher because this organization is using a credit card for payment. You might have seen that when I went into the payment information, when I went in to edit that it had a credit card. The information wasn't there, but that's what was selected. So there is an additional fee associated with using a credit card, and it's charged on all fees except for the $3 fee. And if you're interested in learning more about that and how that all works, connect with our team. We'll be happy to help you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this group. And I'm going to change that one to Humboldt as well. And then submit. And Okay, one more scenario here is new submission, and we'll just do Humboldt to begin with. And I'm doing a second one with a GWH exemption. So imagine that you've submitted some time ago a contract, the declaration of value and the groundwater. Now the contract is paid in full, and you're going to submit the deed in fulfillment. So you'll select the deed, the type here, either a deed or a warranty deed, still the one for the number of parcels, the real estate value, and then you're going to select the groundwater and the declaration of value exemption boxes so that you don't have to submit those again. And then you're going to select here. So you've got that, and then save. And then save. So you've got everything you need there. So you've got the tax calculated here, you've got the service fee, and it's because that extra percentage is calculated on this, on all of these fees. So that's why it's a little bit higher. I'm going to add one more document here because we can. And it doesn't really matter what it is. What I want to be able to show you here, so the party names are all filled in. You can do review group, but what I wanted to show you is that when I added this second document, you can see the total group fees here, so you can make sure that what you're prepared to charge your customer, or maybe what you already have on a closing statement, is matching up here. So you will not be charged more than this or less than this unless the county returns a document for you to make those changes and to accept those fee changes. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this one right now. And take a quick pause here to see if anyone has any questions about anything I've submitted or something specific you would like to see me submit. Let's do a release of mortgage. I think that's always a good one. So you've got that, and your document type here is probably a satisfaction of mortgage, and you find the document that you have scanned and save. So, and then you've got one grantor or grantee, and we'll make it be the bank. And then save. So it's as easy as that. And again, you've got the party, all the fees here. So standard fee, this is a one-page image that I attached, $7. No additional transaction fee, no transfer fee, no transfer tax, and a service fee of $3.13. So you've got a total of $10.13. And I'm going to change that county really quick to Humboldt. And I'm going to go ahead and submit that one. Okay, I'm going to go back here to all of these groups that I have in my pending group section. I prepped some documents so that you would have an opportunity to see how it works when documents are in progress, there's a fee change, or there's a decline. So remember, anything in progress has not been submitted, part of your to-do list. Something you could do is get those documents ready if you're everything's good, but you're waiting for one thing. You could start the group and get them out there. Nothing's going to happen to them until you submit them. So there's no harm or foul in putting those documents to this group of documents out there. A group name can be anything that will help you find it later. You will have to determine what the naming convention works best for your organization. They do need to be unique. So if I were to copy this group name and start another one, it would tell me. I'll just go ahead and do that. It will tell me that the name has already been used. It should. It's already been used, so please choose a different name. So I can make this be different simply by changing the spacing in here. So that might be helpful for you in the future. Just want to let you know that's out there. I'm not going to do anything with this group, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it by clicking the delete button right there. Okay, so this one is all ready to go. All I have is one document in here, affidavit of transfer. Little sidebar here. If you're having trouble with what's an affidavit of transfer or non-transfer, affidavit of transfer conveys property. Affidavit of surviving spouse is where we see those on a regular basis. Affidavit of non-transfer, statement of fact. It could be a purchaser's affidavit or a trustee's affidavit. So a trustee's affidavit says, I, as a trustee of this trust, am authorized to purchase this property, take this action, whatever. It's a statement of fact. Affidavit of transfer conveys property. And I'm going to go ahead and submit this group so that it goes away. So you're going to see it was submitted successfully. I'm going to click on home and we're down to 2 groups here. Now we have the declined group and the fee change. So this declined group submitted to the county for review. They would have received notification that's out there for them to take a look at. They log in, their screen looks a lot like yours. They're going to click on the submission number, they're going to open the image, place the stamp, and then approve or decline. They've chosen to decline these. So you're going to click on the group name to open it up, see which documents are declined. Click on the submission number, and then if you scroll down here to the history, it says they wanted it to be scanned in black and white. When a document is declined, you will receive an email telling you it was declined, and the information right here will be included in the email, along with the information that belongs to, that is the contact information for the county. So here's an example of one that I declined earlier. Wrong county should be Adams, got my information, the group name, all of that information. So that's what it looks like if you get that to you. Okay, so all that information comes to you. Make sure that you have support at Clearis, CLRIS.com whitelisted, so you will receive that information. Okay, so, but it's always here and you can always log in and check it out. Counties have 24 hours or 1 full business day to review documents that are submitted to them. Most of them are much quicker, and in some cases, if you submit now, you will still have recorded documents before the end of the day, which is one of my favorite things about e-submission. I was speaking with a bank that is coming on board about, even though they some of their locations can walk to the bank, that this is probably more efficient and more cost effective because you're not cutting a check, you're not mailing anything, and you've got somebody you know, still in the bank working, and you can submit 24/7. So in the case of the bank, they're working Saturday morning, they can go ahead and submit, and those documents will be ready for the recorder's office first thing Monday morning. But you can submit 24/7. So if you're in an attorney's office and you're working late, working a weekend, whatever, go ahead and submit. They'll be out there. The only thing I want to caution you about is if you submit something in error, you're submitting it to the wrong county, you submitted it just in error, it wasn't ready to go, or party names are wrong or whatever. Don't call our office, don't contact our office, call the recorder, say, hey, help. I've submitted something in error and I need you to decline that. And you should call them as quickly as possible, because once something is recorded, it is almost impossible to have it removed from the record and have those fees refunded. So please keep that in mind, okay? So back to decline. Click on the group name to open it up. Click on the submission number. We know this was scanned because they wanted it in black and white. Select edit, and then find the new document that you scanned, attach it and save it. So remember, sample docs that I'm using here, so the fees changed a lot. And then you'll see that status goes to resubmission. The group status is still declined because you haven't addressed everything in the group. It won't be live here for group action. So on to the next one. click the submission number, determine what's going on. Legal is incorrect. Sometimes the best reason a recorder can give you is please call me, so they can walk through their questions with you. So we're going to go ahead and edit. And I'm going to take this out and save it. And so now that one's in resubmission. And then finally, let's just say that we're not going to record that one now. So we're going to go ahead and delete that one and do okay. And so that one's ready to go. Before we do that, I want to talk about here where I removed the number of additional transactions. In general, I would tell you to not use this, okay? Number of additional transactions is not the number of additional documents you are adding to a group. Number of additional transactions is used when there is more than one transaction on a document. So if this was an assignment and there were 2 assignments of mortgage, then you would put 1 here so that you could be charged the additional $7 so that everyone's records get updated, okay? So in general, don't use it. Here's another reason that you could use it. And I'm not sure if this is my favorite or if it's my dream. Satisfaction of lien. You had a first mortgage and a second mortgage on your house. You win the lottery. Great. Aunt Tilda leaves you a whole bunch of money, whatever. You go in and refi or you pay everything off. And the bank, instead of submitting 2 documents, does 2 releases for your first mortgage and your second mortgage, they combine them on 1. And so it would say, we're releasing book 1, page 2, book 75, page 400 for David Jones. And then, but they do need that additional transaction. In general, again, I would tell you not to use it unless you have a complete understanding of it. I would submit it and let the recorder send it back to you and tell you how many of those they need. If you happen to be one of the organizations that's working with all of the wind farms in Iowa, this might be a place where you would use it if you were doing a lot of assignments at one time. So got those all done. Go ahead and do submit group. And then finally, the fee changes. So again, you submitted it, the county reviewed it, they determined that they needed a different amount of money. Currently, those do come back to you for approval. And again, just like in the declines, you're going to get an email telling you why what the fee changes were. So I'm opening up one of those. This one went up by $5. Again, remember, this is a sample. This one went up by $5. So was it this one? Nope. Maybe this one. It went from 1 to 2. So that's why it went up. If you're in agreement with that, all you have to do is select accept the fee change, and that status on that document becomes resubmission. Okay. And then again, on this one, the assignment, and it went up by 7 for that 1 additional transaction as I was talking about. And then finally the deed. This was a big one because I increased the transfer tax from 0 to 500,000. And if everything's good, you do that. But remember, you would have received 3 separate emails telling you those fee changes were out there. So you could go ahead and do that. You can still add documents here if you wanted to. And clearly I need better sample docs. And you could still change the county if you wanted to as well. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. And last step, always submit group. So anyone have questions about the e-submission process? Anything that you will be submitting that you had questions about, that you wanted to see demonstrated? So I'm looking at, we talked about all the documents that must be completed. That was a question and included for a successful submission. So that was out there, how to e-record and how to efficiently search. Okay, let's talk about process to e-submit documents for recording, submission of deeds, decks, groundwaters, affidavits, speak calcs. Okay, taking the webinars. Okay, let's talk about a couple things here. One, you have submitted documents. You want to make sure they are submitted successfully. So you'll select search and search by county, and we can select up to 5, I think. I'm going to search Humboldt and Adair since that's where I was submitting documents. And submission date and then today's date. And then search. So blue bar indicates that it's working, and you can see all those documents that I have submitted. We've submitted a lot of things today for in our test environment, but these are all of the documents right here. Webinar fee change, webinar decline, Humboldt, those are some that I submitted earlier, webinar in progress, release. So you can see that they're all out there, and you can see they're in ready for recorder status, or some that have already gone to a status of county index paid. So if you were to log in and see that they were in something besides ready for recorder or county indexed or county index paid, in meaning they've been recorded, what you might see is ready for download, downloaded, ready for stamp, stamped. Those are intermediate statuses that they go through. Each document would go through within the recording process. So you would always come here to check to see if they were out there, so you can take a look. You can also call our office. We'd probably check a couple times a day for someone. Alternatively, you could select by recently recorded and then search. So this is when you've received that email notification that documents have been recorded. And so again, you're going to log in and select from search and then recently recorded and search. The blue bar indicates that it's working, and you can see how many there are. It will bring you results of the most recent 500 documents. And I like this because you can sort it. So we can get everything from Adair at the top. You can have more documents display. You can, let's find all the, mortgages. So there's anything that had a mortgage in the name, okay? And what if we did deed? There, deed, warranty deed, assignment of deed. So, and again, it's always, and there's the quick claims. It should always bring you, it's filtered it from the most recent 500. So if you're looking for something specific, and you can export these. Recently, we had someone who was looking for the mortgages, I believe, or the deeds, I believe, that she had recorded this year. So we were able to help her get that information. Okay, any more questions about the e-submission process? Because I do want to show you the new search, and I do need to go to our production environment to do that. So I'm going to log in as a Polk County Recorder employee. Oh, a question. Okay. So, so when search is enabled in your account, so we've developed a new search interface. Legacy search, which you're used to using, will go away. Late summer, early fall is our goal to get that done. everyone will transition to the new search function. We are working with e-submission customers first, and then we'll work with the people that only use Iowa Land Records for searching. They're not e-submission customers. So even though this is the recorder side, it still looks a lot the same. Unfortunately, I don't have a, maybe I do, hold on. I don't know why it's not up there. Okay, so it'll look the same. Your menu bar will change. So it will say e-search for e-submission search, like the documents I just looked for, or ILR search. And so when you do that, it will take you to a page that looks like this. And you'll do a name search, a reference search. So name, you're just putting in a name. And I'm using a wildcard there. So there are some things that are different, but we'll just do David. We'll do Clark County. We'll see what happens. We might get nothing. Okay. I should have prepared better search information. Then we've got, well, we can go back here. Let's do, Phil is our project manager. And he lives in Polk County, and he has searched this multiple times in demonstrations. So there you can see everything that are for Phil and his wife, Linda. So you see a mortgage, their names, the legal. This is something that came out of discussion in our focus groups, that people wanted to be able to see more information about the legal, the property, before they had to click into everything. So that's how that looks. And then you could do a reference search. So we'll just search for his first mortgage here. So we're going to do reference number, Polk County. So that goes a little bit faster because you don't have to put as much information in. We're not going to do a date range. Well, that was not my intention. And then search. And there's that document again. So you've got the recorded date. This is more index information. You can see where they live, all that kind of stuff. You can download the PDF. We will not do that. And I'm going to go back, and then you've got this. So you may remember in legacy search, there's a yellow PII triangle if you wanted to report any information to us, that there was a bad image, maybe there was a social security number or something like that. So that's what this does now. And so you'll see a report an issue with a document, and the number of reasons has expanded. So there's a lot more options out there. And then you can enter a comment. Okay, so that's there. You've got location search if you wanted to search by section, township, range, something like that. Document type search. So let's do a DARE, mortgage, assignment of mortgage. And we'll do all of this year. And search. And there you have it. There's 9 results, and you can take a look at them, and you can search, you can update how they display. So that's there for you. County search. And then I like this, so you can search everything for a DARE for yesterday and find everything. And then we've got some advanced options too. So I am still learning. It's fairly new. What I would tell you is, one, get someone within your organization to complete the application so we can get that enabled for your organization. If you need help determining who those admins that can complete those applications are, let us know. We're not generating a new account or usernames or passwords. What we are doing is enabling it and asking you through that application to agree to the new terms of use. So that's out there. Another thing that you will notice as a user, the terms of use has always allowed 120 documents per day. And people sometimes went over that and were blocked from access, what you'll see now is that there's a counter. And once you get to 120, you will not be able to have additional access to images that day. So that's out there too, as just, keeping everybody in check. So complete that application. And two, I think Kristen did put the information out there for tomorrow's webinar, which is at 10 o'clock on the search interface presented by Phil Dungy, our project manager. So last call for questions. We are always available for help. I'll put our number out here. Yeah, we always answer the phone if we're available, and we're happy to help you and walk you through absolutely anything. If you're a new organization, starting to use eSubmission, and you would like additional training for you or your team. As an example, the bank that I spoke to earlier today, they have 4 locations, and I hope that we can do a webinar like this for them so that we can get their team up and running quickly. So one more last call. And then thank you for joining us. We want eSubmission to be a good experience for you. We want the new search engine to be a good experience for you as well. So send us your feedback, ask us all the questions, and connect with us if we can help. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon, and enjoy the rest of the summer. Take care. Bye-bye.